Well, greetings. Tommy Jane here. It's kickback evening. I just, I don't know. I'm at my bliss point. I've been holding pretty well to my bliss point. Uh, I got a lot of good things going on. Um, One thing, this place is so much mellower. It's cleaner. I think the old place had a lot of mold because, like, my upper respiratory is clearer than it's been for years. I'm not wheezing at all. I've always dust and pollen and smoke and shit just always has had my head. My sinuses will fill and then it'll flow down through here and collect here and I'll cough it up. I've been like that all my life. It's not COPD, it's reactive airway syndrome. My lungs are real strong from horn playing. Um, get ready for Jen show. This is the main work tray right at the moment. Notice it's all full of crystals, and those are all getting paired off for earrings. And I got a whole mess of stone that needs to be polished. A lot of nice stuff. A lot of nice palm-sized pieces. Good-sized stones. Big fat suckers. What else? I can't really play any music right now because I can't really put it out after 10 o'clock without getting the neighbors upset. Well, I don't even know if it'll get the neighbors upset, but I don't want to press my luck. Can't play inside after 10. Things have been going really good. Getting ready for the show. Have a number of people that are going to be plugged in, and we're going to be plugged into it. The biggest mineral dealer and gem and mineral dealer in Texas. I mean minerals, really, just plain minerals mostly. And I'm just not gonna engage people that are being just mean and stupid. It's counterproductive. I'm not gonna fight with people over things that were in my past that they just have no understanding of and want to just twist all out of proportion with reality. That's a stupid fight. And they're psychos. God, that I don't want to name names. I just don't want. I don't want to empower them. Virgo Rouge apologize for her not understanding my feelings about myself, and really is sincerely wanting to know more about transgender people. And really, I don't. What's to know? I mean, I'm just a person, and I don't. I'm not exactly. I'm not real ladylike, but I'm not a man, and it's obvious that most people. I mean, I have a dedicated group of a couple of dozen haters, but I'm getting followers on Twitter. Like I got some followers tonight. I just noticed in my stats last week that I was coming real close. My retweets were coming real close to 1 million reach. Like, here's a guy, he doesn't have many followers, but I picked up like 4 followers tonight. They had like 10,000, 35,000 followers. Um, uh, uh, yeah, maybe we'll read this shit. Um, this is being a Jewish transgender hippie, anti-Zionist Jewish transgender hippie has its moments on the social networks. Um, and and mixing it up with American and British politics, and Australians too, and the Canadians. They all the old Dominion, the old British Empire places. They're just all like, and then mixing them all together, and with that underlying glue of the Zionism is nothing new. Okay, it's just taking on a new shape. But the people the warmongering slave keepers, the demon worshiping warmongering slave keepers, they keep our world at war and have kept our world at war for thousands of years, are people from the same bloodlines. Um, the Rothschilds, and Morgans and the Rockefellers, that NWO crowd, that's just the tip of the iceberg. They're most visible. The ones that there's others that are just it's been going on for thousands of years. But that's just silly conspiracy stuff, huh? Um, this was interesting. Where's the yeah? I should read this shit. This is the Mary Scully reports. Zionism and Israeli mass psychosis from August 14th, 2014, which was in the middle of the Ramadan attack on Gaza. 51 days of bombing the fuck out of Gaza. Israel's been riding so high on that Exodus baloney, they got reckless. They apparently thought they could make up any damn thing and it would be believed, so they put crackpots in charge of the Hasbara factory. War propaganda went from nutty to kooky to outright insane, and that was just in the Knesset. Zionism has produced massive psychosis in Israel, a cultural dry rot where politicians and bloggers call for genocide in Gaza without batting an eyelash, where women discuss if stuffing their faces with chocolate during this war will make them fat, where people move their parlor furniture to the hills of Sderot so they can cheer on ethnic cleansing and wave the Israeli flag. For those who believe in social transformation, the corruption of Israeli society is not a promising sight, but is deeply disturbing. Amen to that. What is heartening are the soldiers refusing to serve genocide in Gaza, the anti-war activists who stand with placards while they are denounced as traitors and attacked by goon squads as police stand by. To them, our deepest respect, for they are the only hope Israelis have. Many are discouraged at the odds against the dissidents, but those dissidents allied with Palestinians and African refugees are a formidable force. And that alliance is something the state of Israel will go to great lengths to prevent. Stir that shit up in the United States. Of course, this was before the Yellow Vests. A historic shift has taken place internationally. Hundreds of thousands of men and women of goodwill around the world have entered this conflict on the side of Palestinian justice. Those dissidents are no longer isolated. Palestinians no longer stand alone.
These battalions are marching, speaking out, educating, agitating, and most of all, evangelizing for the economic boycott, BDS, of all Israeli products. The contrast between the psychos in the hills of Sderot and the hundreds of thousands in the street demanding stop the slaughter in Gaza could not be more regrettable from the point of view of Israeli war propaganda. Somebody from the Hasbara factory should have been smart enough to go up to those hills, remove the furniture, and drag their bony asses home, because it just doesn't look good when people who claim they're cowering from Hamas rockets are partying over ethnic cleansing. The Zionist entity called Israel has to go. It isn't salvageable, nor is it reformable. Well, the government as it is, yes. And the Hamas and the Palestinian Authority are no better, and they all three need to be dissolved and reunified into a single federal republic with a proper constitution that's going to protect the religious fanatics from each other. That's a daunting task, and you know, it's something that the people who envisioned a Jewish homeland but not a Jewish state had wanted. Albert Einstein and Chaim Weizmann and the crowd around them were wanting to share the government in a, they called it binational. You know, just a secular constitutional republic. It's not what's happening in the Zionist state right now. That's a daunting task, but those who deem it possible should have heard the Jeremiads, once so popular about the Soviet Union, or the Roman Empire for that matter. What is needed is not another version of the two-state scam where Israel stays put and Palestinians squat in refugee camps in Bantu states. What is needed is justice, and that means a democratic, secular state where Jews and Palestinians can live in peace. Difficult? Indeed. Impossible? Absolutely not. You know, get the fucking fanatics and the warmongers out of it, and then people will work it out themselves. Palestinian justice is playing a transformative role in world history because it challenges centuries of racism, colonialism, and neoliberalism. The barbaric phase of capitalism. For those who ask, what are the other Arab countries doing for Gaza? The answer is twofold. The other Arab regimes are mortgaged to the U.S. Pentagon and have their heads stuck up Israel's ass. But the people in those countries stand steadfast in their majority with Gaza. This is a photo of the Gaza Solidarity rally in Amman, Jordan, yesterday as part of the Gaza Day of Rage. Keep marching and evangelize for the economic boycott, BDS, of all Israeli products. So we got anybody visiting? Oh, we got what a shit pile. Well, hello shit pile. Like I said, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna discuss anything about my past with any of you perverts. I'm just gonna block you and remove your presence from my sight. Oh, it's another one of those throwaway accounts you can't even find. I got a lot of help, you piece of shit. You're gonna need a lawyer eventually. When, I don't know, but all you're gonna get talented motherfucker. If I don't do it, the universe is gonna get you people. Oh, anyway, moving right along. Um, I've had enough of that Zuni. He's just being a fucking disingenuous fucking dork. Tools of the perpetual war machine. Now what do I want to do? Why did I do this? It's an old people's moment. Getting rid of a Zuni. Let's close that. Let's go back there and oh, I know what I was doing. I was going for the blessing. No. Fuck is that? Zyropedia one. I don't like that either. That's kind of a different one. This was the one that was working. But that's
Well, there's just so much I'm willing to take from people who are being aggressively stupid, deflecting, arguing irrationally, using insults and strawman and red herrings, all sorts of happy shit. How about the Senate? They voted to invoke war powers on supporting the Saudis. Tell you what, my Twitter feed's like really fucking depressing all the time. Just awful news from everywhere. Jared Beck, who is this guy? Lawyer and author of What Happened to Bernie Sanders. He's saying Americans are the sleepiest non-active people on the planet. They basically rolled over and went to sleep after deep state blew JFK's head off in broad daylight. You're spinning a fantasy and won't even get off your couch. What are these guys arguing about? It's really, here's just Jared. It's really hard for Team MAGA to accept that the American people lost the republic many decades ago. Not a chance. 65 million MAGAs won't let it happen. Oh, come on. We're silent but very deadly. Sounds like a fart. We'll come out of the woodwork just like me. MAGA, millions and millions will march. Bad fucking chance of that. Um, something we don't talk about here. They want to go into the past, and I have no idea who the fuck you are, and push me, and I'll just block you, man. Someone from my past. Someone from my past they want to distort a story about, and that's all I'm willing to say. You know, it's just some fucking alt-right assholes, neo-Nazi punks, and if you're one of them, I'll just block you. No biggie. Like, you know, that's a kickback evening. Have a nice sack of weed and plenty of fruit in the fridge. Probably should cut up some mango before they get kind of bad. Oh, this is cool. This guy is like translating. He's translating my tweets into French. What a douchebag. He retweets his own tweets. Let's see what he did, what he said with it.
Oh, it doesn't show. Let's see what he's got on his wall. Okay, Maxine Waters is on the let's impeach Trump now. And here's Hannity reporting on it. This ought to be good for some chuckles. He supposedly deleted a couple hundred tweets yesterday. Firebrand Congressman Maxine Waters called yet again for the impeachment of President Trump this week, labeling the commander-in-chief a dangerous man who has aligned himself with the enemy. Waters was speaking at NBC Chris Hayes when she was asked to comment on her liberal rally in 1995, saying Trump deserves to be impeached because he loves dictators. Get this pop-up shit out of my face. I believe this president is dangerous. I think he's undermined our democracy. I think he's aligned himself with the enemy, with Putin. He loves dictators. He's literally undone some of the good public policy that has been created for the safety of the citizens of this country. And I believe that he certainly qualifies for impeachment, said Waters. He deserved to be impeached, she concluded. Whoopee. Whoopee. Here's some more Hannity. Why am I getting Hannity shit? Oh, why am I getting Hannity shit? Oh, I'm not getting Hannity shit. I'm on this Michael Baskins wall. Out of here. Yeah, I got no time for idiots. Do we have any more idiots on the... Oh, thanks. Appreciate it. And I'm not a man, please. I'm transgender female. I know I'm not all girly, but that's what I am. Do you have any particular like interests? I'm kind of like just I like to call myself a multidisciplined artist. This is gemstone lapidary, and music. That's my thing. I'm an old hippie from the way back, and I live in Tucson. And no, I'm intersexed, and they did some kind of surgery on my stuff down when I was little, and I have like male junk, but I've got a female brain, and my body's never been real masculine. Um, I'll pass okay for a woman, just with a smile and no makeup. I'm good with it, and I'm comfortable. I realize I'm not the same as a cis woman, but I feel like I need to demand that men relate to me like they would a woman. I'm not a guy. I want to be treated like a guy, and that's just the way it is. And I really appreciate it when people do that. Like I usually like I was talking about it earlier. Um, about half the people. Now, when I'm playing my horn, most people see me as male. But when I'm just walking around, about half, at least half, maybe more. I don't know. I don't really count. See me as female, and
the ones that don't, all I got to do is say, hey, I'm not a guy, and they get it. I hardly ever have to explain. It's really wonderful that, because I've watched this all my life, and I'm 64, and just in the last 10 years, um, the transgender community has come together. Trans people are happier than I've ever seen them. It's all scared and lonely and all frightened and afraid of things and just isolated. And now the internet's brought everybody together, and there's a lot of kids, their families. And what happened is doctors put their foot down in the 90s, early uh-ohs, and said, no, it's better to let these kids be what they are, what they say they are. And if there's medical intervention needed, then there will be later. But there isn't. Uh, for the youngsters and the ones when they do when they do medical, they socially transition as like kindergartners, and they start at 11, 12, 13, and through there they'll start them on the blockers, and 16 or so on the cross sex hormones, and they aren't even allowed. They don't do the surgery before they're 18. There's been very few younger than 18 that have had the surgery, and the satisfaction rates are very, very high. The rate for hormone therapy is close to 100. It's over 95%, and the rate for the surgery, the bottom surgery, like SR, they call all different kinds of shit, SRS, GCS, all kind of different stuff. Um, it's in the high, in the near 95. It's like 94 or 93 something. And most of those are because of poor performance by the doctor, either botching the job or bad aftercare. And really, it seems most people in places that aren't barbaric, some awful, in other parts of the world, there's some really awful things being done to LGBT people. I mean, like, it's fucking death sentence in some places. But in America, it's as long as you're like not in a community of like twisted religious fanatics. Um, well, the doctors put their foot down on the conversion therapy. Was they realized they were losing patients to suicide. That kids that were not being they're getting beat straight, and that you can't do that. There's a genetic basis for they even found the queer gene, and it's just people are the way they are, and to try and impose, to force a person to be something that they're not, it's very bad for their mental health. I was terrible. Um, I had some pretty bad rage problems with my family. Uh, uh, got a blueberry kush. I get the broken buds for half price. But this is hello. Um, well, we got over it. Really, and
Well, it was girls didn't have penises, boys only cried when they bleed, and my parents were both hitters, and I rebelled, and we were mostly estranged for many years, still are to a degree, but we're getting along better than we have been a long time. Um, I had an almost affair with a trans guy, and it got through to my parents. I think they finally understood some. Just the easiest way to understand it is we're crosswired. That sex is down here and gender is up here, and sometimes people's brains don't match down there. It's just the way it works. And a small percentage of about 2% of the population, somewhere between 1% and 2% of the population, um, are so badly crosswired that it just needed medical intervention sometimes to with some people, so just they can be comfortable in their own skin. Um, my rap on that is always it's been that masculinity and femininity are not cut and dry. They're not one or the other. It's a sliding scale, and some people whose biological sex. I think that if we're going to accept that there's only two biological sexes, we have to separate sex and gender and acknowledge that there are trans feminine people, there are trans masculine people, and there are people that are bigender, and there are people that are agender. Um, not everybody's like the manly man, and not everybody's the womanly woman either. It's a spectrum. It's not one or the other. Oh, let's see if there's anything interesting happening. Oh, I crashed the browser, so I haven't opened everything back up yet. I need to look at Facebook. There are some things I need to respond to there. Oh, now there's a whole mess of them. What poor baby. She's been cutting stone and living in the desert. Yeah, she's no I'm stuck with rock cutting hands, no Twinkie pie fingernails for me. So, it's just I have cis lady friends that are oh my god, I'm getting mentioned. Shit, 3, 4 of them. Fuck. Oh, I've been invited to a Festivus celebration at the Rialto. I'll have to go to that. Um, well, let's see who this is. I don't even know who she is. Okay, she was answering my question. My friend Maria posted a picture of the setting sun, and I couldn't tell whether it was the sunrise or sunset. And somebody was telling me that she was facing west, somebody I didn't know. Okay, next one. Nina, I know. This is a friend of Donna's. Um, we're talking about some ugly Zionist stuff there. My friend Donna Nassar is like a really nice, I think she's Lebanese American. And I don't know if she was born here or she's lived most of her life here. But she's like connected to the politics, the real politics of the Levant. She's got contacts and family all over the region, Palestine, Lebanon, Syria. And here's I probably should read this. Retired U.S. Colonel. How long was this? This is Mint Press News. This is one of the alt news sites that was the social media, Facebook and Twitter, and them have been deleting. How long is it? Back in the United States into World War III, and they are in northern Syria, northeast Syria. We've got like some armor up there in 2 fortified positions, and I forget the name of the area, and the Russians just spotted the S-300 missiles in there, the anti-missile missile. Wilkerson is saying that Israel is headed toward a massive confrontation with the various powers arrayed against it, a confrontation that will suck America in and perhaps terminate the experiment that is Israel and do irreparable damage to the empire that America has become. We don't need to go into the rest of it. Yes. Crazy. Lots of missiles. When's this from? Oh, that's from last March. That isn't even fresh news. Good thing I didn't read it because it's not fresh news. What else is here? Let's see what this is. Oh, Funky Bones is going to be playing. They're good. They're real good. On next Saturday night at 7 o'clock. Yeah, I think I could do that. Oh, when I was younger, some, but I didn't put up with it. I usually had a girlfriend when I was real young, in my teens and early 20s. I get hit on a little bit, but I didn't. No, I got hit on by a trans guy this summer, but it didn't work out. But we're still friends. Oh yeah, I think they're trying to catfish. Most of them are scammers. All of them are scammers, pretty much. They'll want to tell you that they're in love with you, and then they want you to send them money. But I think I'm likely to it's very quiet tonight. None of my friends are really making much noise. Yeah. The groups have been quiet. I should go take a look at MeWe. That's starting to build the MeWe.com. Get more people connected to more people in groups there, and a lot of people from Facebook are going over there. Okay. Contacts. Who is this guy? Someone's inviting me. Somewhere, retired, none. A drinker. Chattanooga 22. Religious freedom envoy. Okay, there's a flag. What does this mean? Folks, let's hope the border wall is not to turn good Americans into Palestinians. Chime in on your thoughts. I don't know about that. He likes old jazz. Glenn Miller kind of stuff. Andrews Sisters. Benny Goodman. Okay. This is a fuck you. It's transphobic. And Islamophobic. And a gun nut. Okay. And some anti-Hillary shit. Just my kind of guy. No, goodbye. No, thanks. Here's the sweetheart. Maz. Maz and Crispy. She's a honey. There's a lot of rainbow folks moving over this way. Finch is organizing over here. Or no, it's Finch or no, it's Gabe. Gabe is organizing over here. There's not much activity, but there's no advertising. You join what you want to join and chat with who you want to chat with. Mellow. There we go. Okay, now what's going on there? This group is crystal guys are kind of lame. And not much activity either. Didn't even have anything today. All these groups are pretty lame. Free Palestine group. That's all the usual stuff. 8-year-old shot. There were 2 4-year-old kids killed this week in Gaza. Here's a picture of an 8-year-old shot in the face. Wow. Oh boy. That's just too much. This is showing a classroom in Gaza with like a hole blown in the chalkboard. Big hole blown in the middle of the chalkboard. Now I wonder if this can actually show up as a with a preview of the image. It didn't. You have to save it and then upload it. Here's the way that shit works. I need to pay closer attention to where it's serving. Okay, where'd it go? Shit. And kind of sort the images out. I just got all these different things from all different everywhere, um, jumbled together. Huh. I haven't seen neither one of them. Oh, there it is. Yay.
What Natalie Portman say this time? She's been speaking out about Israel being racist. They're pissed at her. They were real pissed at her a couple of months ago. Now they're gonna be pissed at her again. Or is this? No, this is fresh. Okay. You have to check the dates on stories. People pull shit out that's stale. Dad from the morgue even. Like once it's more than 24 hours old, it's not worth sharing anymore. Something from last week or last month or 4 years ago, forget it. It's racist and there's nothing else to say about that. It's wrong and I disagree with it. It's hard to be from a place where you don't have choice, where it's political. It's the people you love and their lives are personally affected by all the decisions politicians make. I just hope to be a part of changing that and making us truly love our neighbors and working with our neighbors. It's like your family. You love them the most, but you're also the most critical. It's just speaking out against the nation state law. You know, it's like, hey, 40% of, I forget exactly where they were, American Jews said no. We're American Jews, we're not Israeli. And any Jew whose like moral compass is set properly is going to look at what they're doing in horror. And yes, here's her spokesperson saying recent events in Israel have been extremely distressing to her, and she does not feel comfortable participating in any public events in Israel. And her decision was, she said herself that she didn't want to appear to be endorsing Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. I don't blame her. I don't even like to use the word Israel talking about the state. Israel was a person, not a place. And Zionists are really crappy neighbors. They're just awful. And documented all the way back, and they've always known it. They've always admitted to the fact that they were going someplace where there was a people already living there that weren't going to be happy about it. They recognized that in the 1890s, 1905. I've seen statements, letters that were written. It's just fucking wrong, and it needs to be total. All of Palestine, Israel, Palestine, Gaza, all of it, Jordan. It's just wrong. Actually, what they did all over the Ottoman Empire was wrong. One thing it didn't do was give any consideration to the migratory pathways of people. Ancient migratory routes there, ancient trading routes. I mean, just all fucked around by arbitrary lines in the sand. Anyway, hello, Avery. Thank you, Avery. Yeah, I'm a hippie. Yeah, I got a bong. I smoke a lot of weed. I go through about half an ounce of, here. This is about a week's worth for me. Weed kept me off of hard drugs and alcohol, and I've made a lot of friends with weed over the years. Weed. At concerts, well, the band and their followings will step out and back and have a little safety meeting during a set break. My first job out of high school was with a tropical fish importer distributor that one of the owners of the pothead, serious pothead, and we'd have safety meetings in his office after we'd finish packing out the day, and have safety meeting in their office. Weeds helped me step back from aggression to, if you force a person with gender dysphoria into the gender role that matches their genitals, they have all kinds of behavioral health issues that arise. I had a rough time with rage because my parents were both hitters, so I started hitting back very young. Um, I was usually able to contain it pretty well in public. Um, and the older I get, the less I want to like accept anybody else's aggression in my space for very long. I'm a little hippie, and everything's beautiful, everything's good, everything's got its own time and place. And if you don't like it, don't look. Just leave it alone. Don't. If there's something you don't like, don't mess it up for somebody that may. I mean, I mean, awful evil. I mean, there's got to be a point where you have to like cut it off, and not condone certain behaviors. Killing, lying, and stealing. Um, being top three, I guess. Um, but life's real easy if we're just nice to ourselves and each other. Just treat everything like just it's all divine. It's all put together in one very diverse and complex unity. And just enjoy it. Let's tell you what though, it's kind of late and I'm kind of tired. We're coming on the weekend, and I want to thank you guys for some pleasant conversation while I was just like kicking it in the studio. So happy day. Thanks for watching, and bye.